Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia. Tonight we're having another episode of Tiaras, Tea, and Tarot. uh, I have done readings in the past. I'm not normally a political tarot reader, but I couldn't help myself. And I've done some world prediction videos. And the results further out show me something different than what's happening right now. So I want to do a reading on what's going to happen around the inauguration. I'm mostly concerned with what is happening from that day on or right before until sometime in March, because my cards never lie to me. I will have clients at the time of the reading say, oh no, that's not true. That's not happening now. That didn't happen. And then they'll call me a month or two later and they'll say, Najia, everything you said was right. You were so right. I was wrong. I didn't realize what was going on in the background. So I really have a feeling, and I must say a feeling. I haven't been reading cards on this other than the 3 times I did it for this channel, concerning what's going on here. And the last time I did something, uh, it was right after the election. And what I saw in the current energy, what was that happened, but further out, I saw a different result. And I still can't wrap my head around how that would happen. So the other thing is the feeling I get. My claircognizance feels everything's going to be fine. My rational mind says, not based upon the results. My heart chakra, the brain in my heart, the inner knowing here. Further out, it feels a very kind energy. My cards show in the long-term outcome a kind, nurturing energy. Someone that really cares a lot for people in this country. Someone who is empathetic, very strong, but at the heart, and it shows a female or female energy. And I can't figure out how that would happen based upon everything that is going on right now. How would that happen? I don't think the president-elect is going to have a come to Jesus moment and turn his life around and to have a complete reversal of personality. And the vice president-elect, I don't see that type of energy. And it is a female energy in the cards. And based upon what I've read, so one of the things I saw a year ago, I took that reading down because people got so mad at me. I put it up a few months ago, and because a year ago I would just look and see the energy around president-elect. And I saw death. I saw death around him. I saw bad health too. And there were some assassination attempts. So I thought, okay, maybe he escaped death. Maybe that's what I saw. But then I looked after that attempt, or the second attempt, I forget. I looked at that energy again and I still saw death. I also saw bad health, which is playing out now. That's playing out now, and you can see that easily. But even if there were health issues, and even if the Republican Party pulled Trump out, then that would not mean that Harris is president. You know, the vice president would take the spot. So I'm really curious. Why do I feel the way I do? Calm. Of course, I had my moments shortly after. But I don't know why I feel calm. Calm before the storm? I don't know. But I remember the last reading I did back in November, probably November 5th or 6th. I got the Queen of Cups upright in the final outcome. In the short-term outcome, there were a lot of delays happening quickly. Things were lining up to be delayed. So I want to read on that again. Want to have a sip of tea? Right? I'm having Meadowland Elixir. It's an infusion type of elixir that you can make tea out of. Hopefully I'll get their sponsorship someday. I dream of getting a sponsor for tea here. And this teacup, by the way, belonged to the diva, my mom. And I was very proud of my mom. One day, just before I do the reading, I just got to tell you my mom. We were at the hospital. She wasn't doing well. And the election from 8 years ago, or the debates were going on, the debates from over 8 years ago were going on. And it was Hillary and Donald. And my mom just loves celebrities, right? She just loves celebrities, and she loved all that stuff and the persona that he emanated. And, you know, she liked that kind of persona, and she thought it was great. And then she watched the debate and how he acted. And she wasn't a big Hillary fan, you know? And she saw how he acted, and she said, I used to like that man. I don't like him anymore. He's mean. He's no good. He's a mean person. And I said, I'm so glad. I was just so glad she saw through the persona and saw his spirit. Okay. And whatever. I was proud of my mom. She couldn't get out and vote because of her condition. They didn't have all that mail-in ballots those days. But I was proud of her for seeing the truth. And I think truth is really important. I'm not a big fan of gaslighting. I hate gaslighting. I've been gaslighted. People say one thing and do another. They spin things around. I'm not a fan. And I also have a little bit of a history with his family. I worked for his brother Rob and his wife Blaine. They were very lovely, and I would sit in the green room late at night because I was his wife, his Donald's former sister-in-law. She had a design company. and she made handbags and fashion things. And I was the photo stylist, I was the video stylist to sell her handbags and her fashion wear. I used to work on the set and do very long shifts and eat weird eat weird food from the vending machines and sip coffee in the middle of the night with President-elect's brother who passed away just a couple years ago, or 4 years ago, I think, 5 years ago. And he was really different. And his sister-in-law was really different. His sister-in-law was really classy, Blaine. And she was really lovely. And I used to be so late at submitting my bills. And Blaine used to get mad at me, like, we have to pay her. We've owed her money for months. Can you please get the stylist to submit an invoice? And she also used to offer to treat me to a hotel room so, I could take a nap in a hotel room rather than taking a nap in the green room. And, but it was fine. I did that a couple times. I was spoiled, but I felt like I was taking advantage of her and her wealth and her kindness. So I was fine. And, they were lovely. They were very lovely. And then I found out years later that all the money, all the profit she made from selling her handbags and clothing went to a fund called God's Love Delivers. It was something that she started back in the 1980s, like a Meals on Wheels kind of thing for women, single mothers who had cancer and were too weak and too poor, too worn out to cook meals for their kids. So she had a food delivery service of free meals to these cancer patients and the kids. And it was such a beautiful thing that she did that. And around that same time, the AIDS crisis took off. And that was a really big thing. And she realized there was a need to deliver meals to all the victims of this disease. And if you go on, I mean, I haven't looked at her website in decades. I mean, I haven't worked for her in about 15 years, I think, because I was heavily into veganism and I felt bad making money from leather handbags. And I found her another stylist, friend of mine, and then in QVC also had people there. So I stopped. She was not happy about that, but I felt, I had a, I feel different about that now. I would work for her if she were to have me, but she was really lovely and she did this. And when I looked at her website, I saw that you'd see her standing around with all these drag queens and gay guys, you know. So it's just the opposite of her brother-in-law. Um, she still has it. She still has God's love delivers because I hear it advertised on one of the late night shows, I think Seth Meyers. So it's really funny at the same, I don't know if even Seth Meyers realizes that when he's kind of making fun of her brother-in-law, president-elect, and he's touting how great love delivers is, that's that's from the same family, the Trump family, but they're very different, very, very different. And I also have a history where he ripped off a good friend of mine, $80,000. He was a he did all the embroidery jackets and caps for the casinos back in the day, and wouldn't pay him, wouldn't pay my friend. My friend had to go into debt. So anyway, that's why I feel the way I do. And that's it's just one of the tiny things I feel the way I do. But because I know the reality and the truth of what he does to people and rips them off and doesn't pay. That's just one little small thing. But that's why I'm hoping for that Queen of Hearts energy. So I'm going to do a reading right now. I'm going to do a reading. See what I get. See what I get for, let's see, it's January 10th right now, right? What am I doing with my hand? You're probably like wondering, what am I doing with my hand? I'm cleansing the cards with the fire energy. I'm also going to get some sage. I realize when I'm doing things off camera, you're like, what is she doing? Is she crazy woman? She's wearing a tiara. And what do tiaras have to do with tarot? Well, I opened an Airbnb because I don't do the photo styling anymore since since the pandemic happened. My job changed completely. So all those decades I did that. Um, if all my bosses got laid off and a lot of photographers and videographers are no longer in business around that time, everybody had to close up. Ooh, don't want this to get ruined. I got this. I'm not going to put sage around this. So wait. This is a beautiful lace tatting. And I wanted to put it under my cards, but the problem with my sage, sparks fly. That's 100-year-old piece of work that probably took a month to make. So I don't want to get the cards on it. I don't want to get the sparks on it. I want to get the cards on it, not the sparks. Let me just show it to you. Look at that. Look at that workmanship. I love old things. I love things that are made with love. Back in the day, they made things with love and pride. All right. All righty. So if you don't like to watch me shuffle, hit the fast forward button. I like to show me shuffling so that I'm not cheating. Like you know who. I'm not cheating like you know who cheats at golf. So, oh, so I'm just tuning into the energy of what's going to happen in a couple of weeks and going forward. Oh, wow. Okay. Got the Five of Cups. It's picking up the pieces after the heartache. I'm not doing the full spread yet. I'm just tuning into the energy and pulling some cards. Let's just see what Spirit tells me to do. So the Five of Cups is like a grief card. There's 2 cups full and 3 spilled. 5 is change and conflict. Let me just take this off. I'm getting squeezed. My head's getting squeezed from the tiara. Fives are, a lot of conflict, change, instability, strife, exertion, a lot of change, loss of freedom, or freedom in some ways because things change so quickly. When it's in reverse, it has the opposite meaning of grieving. It means you've done a lot of grieving and now you're ready to move on, that you're accepting, you're finding peace. There's some forgiveness. Not sure what that's all about. I could imagine about what that's about. Maybe that's the reason I am not so upset, that I feel kind of steady in regard to this. Maybe. Or it could be, if things change, I hear a lot of people that voted for him are really sad about it, that they want to change their vote and they can't. So it might pertain to them. But this is another 5 card, 5 of Swords. More change, more conflict, more instability, more challenges. This card with the 5 swords, it's a battle. Do you see? It's a battle, and it's somebody's a winner, somebody's a loser. The winner is picking up things that they want to take. The losers are leaving their swords behind. And it's conflict. It's a really vicious, cutting energy. You know, there's 2 5 battle cards. One is the 5 of Wands with the staffs. That's more competition. The 5 of Swords, it's really a battle. It's really a fight. It's a fight at all cost, even if somebody dies, right? There's a lot of sneakiness that goes on because of the intellectual energy associated with the sword suite. There's a lot of bullying. We've seen a lot of that, all right? There's a lot of theft, there's abuse, theft. As I said that word, I felt something. Okay, so maybe I'm going to do the spread now. All right, let me go shuffle more. Shuffling more for everybody to see. Ah, test of faith, resilience, guarding. Wow, Queen of Pentacles. Conscious thoughts around that time. New opportunity, abundance. Undercurrents, sadness, emotional loss. A new beginning with a loss in the subconscious. In the past, an impulsive, ruthless energy. A king that's ruthless in the past. And unachievable expectations. In the near future, there's a lot of jealousy, insecurity in the near future with a female energy. An infectious energy, viral energy. It's a balancing of the two. That's what's representing the issue at hand, the identity of that period that we're talking about around the inauguration time. It's trying to manage priorities and balance things and not look behind you at the other instabilities going on in the background. I'll talk more about it. In the environment, this is very much like the 5 of Cups I pulled, but in a bigger way, because it's a major arcana. And this is releasing pain, forgiveness, and starting to move on from pain and have optimism. Hopes and fears. Oh, we've got the Knight of Cups, a promise of love, of something wonderful coming our way, something charming, by the way. And justice in the outcome. Justice. You saw me shuffle. You saw me shuffle. What's in the here and now? In the here and now, at the bottom of the deck, we got the 9 of Swords. That's a lot of people coming to the end of a cycle and realizing all the cutting energy and all the craziness and all the mental illness in the country, lack of sleep. There's a lot of issues with unpaid debts, trying to distribute things. There's a lot of corruption going on in regards to money. There's planning for the world, long-term vision. There's a big money entity, multi-generational, sounds like our country and our economy, and who's been running it, and a tower moment. We're experiencing that right now. There's a crisis in this country that I live in Philadelphia, United States. And there's an exhaustion right now and wanting to give up. Exhaustion with the 7 of Wands in reverse. All right, I'm going to go over the cards. I don't want to make this too long. But I'm very happy to see justice with the angel number 11 in the final outcome. I know we all have different opinions. I know a lot of my relatives and friends, and if they see this, they're not going to be happy. I love you no matter what. I still love you. All right, so I'm going to talk about these cards and the meaning and the placement. By the way, I must say, for entertainment purposes only. Okay? It's the legal disclaimer. So we've got courage. We've got someone, look at this guy. He's battle worn. He's bandaged up. He's fought. He's put a wall up of defense and he's staking his claim. And he's defending his territory, right? It's the last stand. And he's gearing up for the worst pessimism because it's the end of a cycle with the number 9. We're at the completion cycle. What is crossing him? What is in his way? What is his obstacle, this embattled person? Or the metaphor for a lot of embattled people is there is a Queen of Pentacles stopping him. So the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is nurturing, female energy, practical, fair. She's someone who understands money and the economy and wants things to be fair and distributed well. She's aware of what it's needed to be self-sufficient. And there is a conflict when this is the obstacle. There is a conflict. There is a need for self-care. There is a lot of intense feelings come up. So that makes sense from my perspective. This is also, she's also somebody that is also independent as well. She has an independence about her, particularly when she's in reverse or coming as an obstacle, that she has a male side to her because she has to be strong. All right. And that is the energy crossing somebody who's staking their ground. They built their wall. They're like, I'm not leaving. Okay. And conscious thoughts, we have within our country thoughts of abundance, wanting to prosper, hoping for a new start, hoping for things to change, for prosperity, for the big money coming in, to manifest, right? conscious thoughts. Underneath it all, there's an emotional loss. Things are blocked. People's hearts are broken. There's new star energy coming in with another ace. So these are two aces right next to each other. One is upright, one is in reverse. Conscious thoughts, subconscious thoughts, both dealing with new beginnings. Isn't that interesting what the cards say and line up about our new beginning starting in a couple weeks? Okay. And what's happening, we have a very impulsive, ruthless king, a terror, because he's in reverse in the recent past, right? In the recent past, we have a ruthless person with high expectations. And he has unachievable expectations. Unachievable, right? He's already proven that. He's already proven that. He had 10 years to come up with a health plan. And right now, he still has concepts 10 years later. Only concepts of the best health plan ever, right? So we know who that is. In the near future, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So we have also another, she has to be ruthless to deal with the ruthless male. So there's something going on in the near future. And there's this viral energy associated with the Queen of Wands in reverse. So whatever happens in the near future, it is not going to be easy with the conflict and the tower moment, all of this going on, right? All of this going on. It's not going to be easy, okay? And the identity of our country and the identity of Inauguration Day going forward into March is really trying to, it's a juggling act with our resources and our health, our finances, our emotional turbulent waters behind us. And, you know, just one leg to stand on and trying to juggle it all. And that really describes that balancing of polarities, the duality that's going on within everything right now. And we've experienced so much heartache. It's in reverse. We're coming to self-acceptance and forgiveness. So perhaps some people, you know, are coming to be able to forgive each other because there's been so much division. I know a lot, as I said, a lot of people who voted for him are having major regrets because he won and now he's put three major people in the cabinet, where he's going to, who are pro-war in Israel and Palestine, right? Pro-war. So people voted because they thought they were going to have peace. He wants to take over Canada. He wants to take over Greenland, Panama Canal, and Mexico, and have it. You look at his Twitter, the America territories, United States territories. He's friggin' crazy. And he said he's not afraid to use the military or economic sanctions to gain what he wants, to get that. Reporter asked him, like, it's crazy. He would go to war with Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada quit. Justin Trudeau quit this week because he can't deal with him. Because he's intent on having Canada be the 51st state. He keeps calling Canada the 51st state, taking over a whole nother country. So of course, those people who voted for him are like, what the hell? What the hell, right? Sometimes I can't believe it. I sometimes think I'm not alive and I'm just dreaming all this. This whole decade, I feel like I've been dreaming it. It's not reality. That's how I feel. Anyway, hopes and fears. We want our knight in shining armor to fill our hearts and cups and bring it. And we want that knight in shining armor with who promises us good things that make us happy and fill our heart with the Knight of Cups. That's our hope, right? The final outcome. Oh my God. The final outcome. Okay, let's just say you voted for him and you're happy about it. Okay. Do we not all want justice? Do we not all want justice? Can we all agree that we want justice? Justice, balance, fairness, truth. Don't we all want truth? I want truth. Who doesn't want truth? Only the liars don't want truth. Only the cheaters don't want truth. Only the cheaters don't want the fairness or the justice. If you're a law-abiding citizen, if you believe in God, if you believe, whatever, you want justice, right? You want equality. Who doesn't want equality? Who doesn't want balance? The law of cause and effect, right? Who can we all agree we want justice? Or I think 95% of us should all agree we want justice. Maybe I'm wrong about Kamala. Maybe. Maybe I'm wrong about the liberals. And prove me wrong, prove me wrong. That's fine. But I think we can all agree we want justice. And we want what I had pulled twice, like Queen of Hearts, compassionate energy in the long term. I had, right after the election, I pulled the Queen of Hearts in reverse when I was doing the card pulls. And that's exactly what happened. She lost. Queen of Hearts lost. It's in reverse. It's blocked. The energy's blocked. But in the long-term outcome, I got the Queen of Hearts upright. You could check out that reading on my World Predictions playlist. So, thank you for joining me for a rare political interview. I normally read viewer questions and comments during these talks, these Tiara tea and talks. But I haven't had any political questions because my channel is more about developing your intuition, divine design, and because I did a Keanu Reeves tarot card and love reading on my birthday, because we have the same birthday, I got so many women and interested in me doing readings on him and some other celebrities. So my channel took a diversion. But I thought I'd do a political reading because I'm curious. I keep thinking about it. Why do I feel okay? Gosh, how could this happen? I want to hear in the comments No one's fighting the results, right? No one's fighting the results. The certification went through, even though it went through illegally. 22 or 23 states didn't have their ballots all counted and turned in, which they're supposed to for that certification. I'm not so that still wasn't contested. Why? I don't know. And everything is meant to go forth. And even if he had a health issue, that would not change the results. So viewers who watch the news or who watch other psychics do political readings, I want to hear from you in the comments below, okay? Let me know how, excuse me, I'm all itchy, how you think it could turn out in a couple weeks through sometime in March. I just feel, I know I saw something in March. Okay. We'll find out. Remember to love one another, no matter if you differ. Connect heart to heart, spirit to spirit. You can't change anyone's mind. If someone's mind is in prison of the mind, you know, the thickest walls are the prison of the mind. If you've ever been in an abusive or narcissistic relationship, you realize how much you defend the person that hurts you. Because the thickest walls, the thickest prison walls are in your own mind. Anyway, take care.